Hello, YouTubers, people in general. It's John with Punk Rock Politics. I'm going to make a real quick video here before I head out and try to unwind and decompress after the absolute. I got my 2016 United shirt on from I got outside the DNC convention. It's like supposed to be like a Pabst Blue Ribbon design, but they didn't do the red, I think, because the Democrats are blue, Republicans are red. Also, because it was probably cheaper and easier, they can make more money off of it. A vendor was like, I don't know if they're homemade or he ordered them or whatever. But anyway, just oh god, abysmal results coming in from Super Tuesday. And, I'm not going to even address the fact that I'm 100% positive there's going to be all kinds of voter suppression that's already happening in Texas amongst the Latino population. That there's going to be all kinds of shenanigans and dishonest and disingenuous. The lighting looks terrible. Maybe it's just wearing the hat, but excuse me one second. Yeah, I guess what I want to address is I was just flipping around, CNN, MSNBC. I watch them not because they're good or news sources, but I want to see what the media narrative is, where the Democratic Party machine is saying, and what the corporatists and those in power, the elites in both parties, what they want. And it's evident that they want to put up a senile, suffering man who has a terrible record, far before he was senile and for a very long time, of having no spine, of having no integrity, of being dishonest. He would lose to Trump. He has polls showing he would lose to Trump, and Bernie actually has better numbers for beating Trump in various states and across the country. So, Biden's like tied or losing in some polls, depending on the state. And nationally, I think he was tied or losing. It has moved. It fluctuated, but once his record is exposed and people actually know, because unfortunately, believe it or not, they tell you that these are all very educated elitists that vote in primaries. It's not really the case. It's just motivated people in general. I think it's important when people are deciding 3 days before the election, what's there to decide? Every candidate on the stage said they don't believe in democracy and that the person with the most votes at the convention should not be the winner. Okay? Everybody threw their support behind a corrupt, just another demagogue, a liar, somebody who screwed over unions left and right. I'm so sick of hearing they're saying on all these people are like, oh, Joe Biden's just as comfortable in a union hall as he is in a blank. Joe Biden would get booed and thrown out of union halls, and people were getting increasingly pissed, and him and Obama did nothing for unions. In fact, the unions asked for one thing from them in both administrations, and they didn't even give them that one, and it was a tiny, insignificant thing. I wish I could remember the policy, the little tiny thing they wanted, protection for health care or something like that, and they wouldn't do that, or one like help, like I forget what it was, some kind of protection for unions, very small, a tiny little thing. They have broken every one of their campaign promises. They're disingenuous. They're neoliberal, right-wing lunatics, just like the Republicans. They're corrupt corporatists, and it's obvious that, first of all, Joe Biden had no ground game. Literally, Joe Biden had no fucking ground game. All right, he had no money invested in these states. Nobody thought he would win them. And the worst case scenario, roughly according from 5 to 538 and Political Forecast, which is an awesome channel on YouTube, you should definitely check it out. Based on actual data and shit, I've been studying way more sources than that. There is no way that this was a clean election and Joe Biden won. There is no way. That is to believe that the guy with the most donations in U.S. history, Bernie Sanders, the guy with the largest amount of money ever donated in U.S. history, the largest amount of campaign contributions in U.S. history, the most support from unions, blew Nevada away, but despite all the propaganda in MSNBC and CNN. They've been propping up Biden forever. They are super unfair and just quite out frankly lie to the American people. But beyond all that, the youth, I think, would show up a little more than this. Unless I'm to believe that Trump has upset them so much that they just are disillusioned and don't want to vote for anybody. But everybody was saying the exact opposite. And people are very active. Working class people, busy people, all people of all different backgrounds and careers are fucking energized. And they're not energized for Joe Biden. They are not energized for Joe Biden. Look at Joe Biden's celebration last night they were showing on the networks. He had fucking literally 40 people to 60 people, maybe 70 tops, in this little tiny area by bleachers. To the right and left, there was a bunch of open space in some parking lot or something, and there was more fucking people holding cameras than were there for him. This is a fucking straight up lie. And we'll take this to the convention, but don't think we're just going to be like, oh, you're going to steal it from Sanders? Or we'll just all sit outside and be quiet. If you think 2016, which the media didn't cover, and the Democrats or the government or whoever used the NRAD, sonic stuff that was used in Iraq to like silence to stop people from communicating on technology and stop even media from tweeting and telling what's going on and new estimates of people. It was a nightmare. The all the different networks didn't cover the chaos at the Democratic convention, the walkouts of the entire California delegation, because California was clearly stolen by Hillary Clinton and the DNC that she ran. That's not a conspiracy theory. She fucking actually ran it, and Obama bankrupted it on purpose so Hillary Clinton could take it over. They suffered the biggest losses in Democratic Party history that year at every level of government. Look it up. Look at the numbers. They're astonishing. I'm not even going to tell you. I want you to look it up. And they're going to run a similar but worse campaign with fucking corrupt, stupid, and senile Joe Biden against one of the most enthusiastic, intelligent, passionate, consistent, honest, blah, 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 Bernie Sanders. Fucking bullshit. First of all, nobody will ever vote for the Democratic Party again. I mean, I might go as far to say I'm questioning whether I would even vote for a progressive that remains in that fucking party, which is what I was questioning in 2016. I'm a big fan. The media, MSNBC, CNN, they're saying all these surprises. Well, do you realize how hard it is to vote in a primary? You have to register. First of all, you have to agree ethically that you're going to register for one of the major parties in almost every state, and just so you can vote in the primary. You can't be an independent and vote in most of these primaries. They don't discuss that because this isn't real news. It's fucking propaganda. It is literal propaganda for the elitists in government. It is disturbing. All right? The media is largely responsible, and so is the Democratic Party, for Trump being president. I think that's not talked about. It is fucking absurd. Bernie Sanders was leading with black voters as a whole across the country like fucking 5 days ago. All right? The worst case scenario, he was supposed to win 8 primaries. Worst case, like by all fucking measures, and everybody's saying this. They run a couple of propaganda for 3 days, and mysteriously Joe Biden's fucking killing it. He's winning Massachusetts and Maine. Get the fuck out of here. And Texas? No, something's wrong. And, political revolution, Bernie's like talking about, we'll have a political revolution, but I think he's hinting, and we're not going to let the planet burn with Joe Biden or any of these other candidates besides Bernie Sanders and maybe Tulsi Gabbard, who are going to burn shit down and let the world go on fire and fucking keep the neoliberal war machine alive and have people suffering. Some here, some soldiers, but way more people in the countries we fuck up. And regardless, they never talk about that. People in general, we're human beings. The planet's on fucking fire. And you want to give it to Joe Biden and rig it for him? Bullshit. The people will be in Milwaukee. We will be in the millions upon millions in Milwaukee. We will take to the streets, and we will not take the theft of our democracy. No fucking way. And that is my promise to you. I am pumped. I promise you, most of my videos will not be like this, but this is a pivotal moment in U.S. history. This is good versus fucking evil. And Bernie Sanders has statistically for like 4 or 5 fucking years been the best to beat Trump when other candidates were known not to be able to beat Trump, including Clinton, including goddamn Biden. Bullshit. It's a bunch of lies. Get your own independent media. Look up these people's records and people who voted for Biden. If you didn't know who you were voting for and you didn't really do the research of the things he's passed, the things he's fought for, the crazy videos of him saying he would take money from anybody and do anything they said like fucking 50 years ago, like all this, he is a bad person. So please, we're asking for you to atone for if the ones that really did back this guy. That means you back 68,000 or more Americans dying every year because they don't have healthcare or inadequate healthcare. That means you want to spend the U.S. Americans, the majority, have to spend all of us spend $450 billion more on healthcare than if we had a Medicare for all system. That's complicit in climate action. Bernie Sanders' friggin' Green New Deal is $16.4 trillion. That's what we need to save the fucking planet or more. And Biden's is $800 million. $800 million with an M. And the fucking world's literally on fire. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.